And then we delve into matters of health, overcoming health issues. Dr. Batson, as he's on board. You special good morning to you, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, Mr. Carter. How are you, sir?
I'm good, my friend. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. Always a pleasure to be in your company on this early, blessed Sunday morning. I mean, I was coming along in the vehicle just now there, listening to you, listening to that song that is actually one of my favorite songs. You know, you're no longer a slave to fear, simply because, well, not simply, but you are a child of God. And that brings to mind another aspect of the Bible where it says, you'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And if you really ponder on those words, you'll realize how powerful it really is and how powerful they really are, rather, as regards to you as an individual, facing things, dealing with things, that type of thing. So, of course, we're discussing health, we're discussing overcoming health naturally. And, I think a lot of persons, if you really focus and meditate on that statement, overcoming health challenges naturally, no longer being a slave to fear simply because, or not simply, but amazingly because you are a child of God and knowing the truth and the truth setting you free. So this morning, of course, we're going to discuss health. We're talking about health from a natural and integrated perspective. You're listening to yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. And let me say a pleasant, special good morning to my very hardworking, I don't call them employees, I call them colleagues, because I believe, there's a certain level of mutual respect. And it's one team working towards one goal. So let me say a pleasant good morning to the hardworking staff and my colleagues at Batson and Associates. Let me say good morning to our senior consultants, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bastamante, and of course, Mr. Stefan Vialva, and not forgetting the wonderful administrative staff, the supervisors, the managers at Batson and Associates who continue to work hard for the wheel to continue moving in a positive direction. It's a matter of always, better in your best. And, that's what we aim to do at Batson and Associates. And that's one of my personal beliefs in being able to better your best, regardless of what it is, whether it's emotionally, psychologically, most importantly, spiritually, mentally. And of course, Shaquille, yes, Marge Hill says, good morning, Dr. Batson. And no, Miss Frederica Joseph rather says, don't forget Shaquille. Yeah. My apologies. How could I forget Shaquille? Very diligent young man, always ensuring that, he gets the job done. I remember the first time I met Shaquille some years ago, I was actually doing a presentation in Queen's Hall. They were actually having a health and fitness week. And I was invited there, and we actually went down and did an entire presentation. We did examples of blood analysis and that type of thing. And I remember this young man coming with this big, broad smile on his face and trying to introduce me to something. And, but I saw the passion, I saw the enthusiasm of the gentleman. And of course, he's actually my very good, I consider him more than a friend because, I have a certain level of respect for the young man. Hardworking, diligent, and, always working towards continuing as regards to our social media. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good morning to our social media family. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates TT. Of course, we are Dr. Batson on TikTok. So we are on all the platforms. Well, most of them, that is. But I kind of old man. I don't know. They must have new thing, every day just bring out something. Right. And let me say a pleasant good morning to our Facebook family, Miss Vidya Abdul, Miss Frederica Joseph. She says, Miss Frederica Joseph, of course, joining us from New York. Miss Vanette Reed, blessed Sunday to you, Dr. Batson. Miss Veronica Young, good morning to Dr. Batson and Associates. Miss Lauren Forbes, good morning to you. Miss Marge Hills, Miss Pamela Moses, Jazzy Janice Innes, good morning to you, Dr. Batson, and all checking in from New York. So New York is well represented this morning. Miss Maureen Pierre Reader, Miss Arlene Good, um, Mr. Joey Francis, Leslie Ann, good morning to you guys. And of course, on our Instagram, we have Miss Jennifer Valentine, who always, like a lot of you guys, join us. She's actually from Texas. A pleasant good morning to you, Miss Jennifer Valentine. You know, so many of our wonderful clients who continue to get good results and, you know, continue to share and spread the word. Honey Bay, of course, good morning. And of course, where Honey Bay is, she'll be followed by two of her very close accomplices very shortly. Um, so you know everybody is in the house. So this morning I have a program for you guys. We're going to be talking about diabetes because that is something I haven't spoken about in a while, and continues to be a very it continues to be a issue that needs to be consistently addressed simply because we have so many persons that are diabetic in our country, and not only mature persons or elderly persons, but very young. You know, Trinidad and Tobago continues to be very high as it relates to the numbers associated with adolescent diabetes. And if you do not know what adolescent diabetes is, it simply means that we have very young people who are diabetic. And, you know, that is something that we need to assiduously work on to try and correct that situation. That is not, because if you really understand what diabetes does to the body, you will understand why diabetes is not to be played with. People often ask you, you know, could diabetes be cured? Of course, cure is a word I do not use for a number of reasons. We will go the other way and use the word reverse, which carries a completely different connotation as regards to what we actually allowing the body to do. So we're going to discuss that this morning. Of course, it is an open forum. We would like your questions. We like your WhatsApp, because I always try to do a program that is interactive. It doesn't make any sense. I sit down and speak to myself for 2 hours. And, you know, you who have been listening or who I attempt to help and assist have not, you know, gained anything from it. So feel free to ask your questions. I'm going to allow Mr. Carter in a little bit to give you those telephone numbers and the WhatsApp. Remember, we are having our special promotion, which is actually working Dr. Batson to the letter. But of course, you know, I could take the licks, right? So it's a matter where usually I only work on a Wednesday in Shogunas. However, to facilitate a lot of backup that we had and a lot of requests for persons who needed to be seen, I decided I would do a marathon week, or days rather, in Shogunas. So we have continued that, and we'll be again resuming from Monday, God's willing. And that is Monday the 17th, Tuesday the 18th, Wednesday the 19th of April, which is next week, and then the week after, which is the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. So I would be available in the Shogunas office. Let me make some things emphatically and vehemently clear to the listening audience. One, Dr. Batson reviews. I do not do blood analysis and magnetic resonance analysis and those type of things. Again, simply because it makes for easy transition. You know, I have a very well-trained consultants who work with me. I always tell persons, and this is something you learn in management, they teach you, you know, systems work, people fail. I'll repeat that again. Systems work, people fail. And what that simply means is that once you have a system in place, once you have a protocol in place, once you have specific checks and balances in place, it works. It's simply a matter of following those. And the consultants, I'm not saying that they work blindly, but you know, they're well trained and experienced. I mean, some of them have been working with me for in excess of 8 years. Whole different qualifications, bachelor's, qualifications in dark field microscopy, lab work, and that kind of thing. So I deal with quite competent staff. So, you know, I always try to help people to understand that, you know, Dr. Batson is available, but Dr. Batson is one person. And that is why I would have put support systems in place. There are people who figure that, you know, I only want to speak to Dr. Batson. And that at times is not going to be possible at the time that you want to speak to me. And I think that's humanly understandable. And that is why I have those checks and balances in place with well-trained and well-qualified staff from a medical perspective. I mean, I have people who work with me who have the ability to understand blood reports. They can understand MRIs. They can understand CT scans. They can understand uh, things like when we look at GFR, which is glomerular filtration rate. They understand the importance of blood work, blood laboratory work results, creatinine bond, A1C, and that type of thing. So it's a well-trained, qualified individuals that I work with. So I'm just trying to help you to understand that if it is you cannot get me at a particular point in time, do not think for 1 minute that my colleagues are not effective and efficient in what they do. My objective is always, as I said, to better my best and to be efficient and effective in what I do. And I cannot do that by myself. I have a team that is getting bigger and bigger because I need the support. So I'm just saying that because there are some persons I wasn't rude to the individual, but I had to put somebody in the place the other day where they had access to my personal number, which I don't really have problems giving people my number, depending on what it is and that type of thing. But they were very demanding when I told them. I said, listen to me. Because the thing is, if you message me on my WhatsApp, because of you wouldn't like to see what my WhatsApp look like when the day comes. We'll see at my email, right? And I have support people to do that. I can't do that by myself. And I simply told them, I said, listen to me. I said, the information, I want you to forward it. Speak to one of the consultants. They're going to do the groundwork, go through all the bloods, everything, and then they're going to bring it to me. So it makes my job easier and short. I can sit down 1 hour. You understand what I'm saying? So don't make the thing difficult now. The objective is to help everyone. The objective is to get you the help that you want, the results that you want, effectively and efficiently as possible. So please respect the process. Because if it is you don't and you want to give a lot of problems, I have no issue with that, but I don't want to have to tell you, be reasonable in the thing. Be reasonable in the thing. Okay? Please. All right. So those telephone numbers that we have, because for example, these marathon days that I would have run, when we have to do review and feedback, we're talking about hundreds of people. Dr. Batson can't sit down and do those feedbacks by himself. He can't do this review. He cannot. That's impossible. You'll kill me. And God's willing, the doctor have to remain as healthy as he can for as long as he can, so that this good brain that Almighty God has blessed me with, I am able to work and put things in place so that we could continue to do better and get better at what we do, so that you, the clients, would be able to get the results. That's what I'm concerned about. Anyone who knows me know this about me. I'm a results-oriented person. I don't have time for games. I believe we are adults. We played games when we were younger. You fly kite, you pitch marble, you play scooch, mud fight, all them kind of thing. When you were a child, I mean, you could have fun when you're an adult. No, nobody is saying no. But when we working. You came with a mission and an objective, and we want you to accomplish that mission and objective. So please follow the process. Let me say one more thing before. There was an international client that I needed to do consultation with, a Zoom consultation. Let me tell you how everything is possible and how when you need to get things done, they have to be done. Because that is the mindset that I was brought up with. I always tell people I grew up with older people. All my friends are like 20 years my senior. I have nobody who's my friend who's my age. None. All my friends are like 20 and 15 years, 25 years my senior. Good. And the reason for that is it, gives me experience and a number of things. And I'll tell you something. So this individual, we had to do a Zoom consultation. So because of where I was located at the point in time, I was actually in a meeting that went later than I anticipated. So I was actually on the road and not in an office environment or environment that was conducive for me to do a Zoom. So, of course, the consultants would have called the clients before, got all the information, the medical information, the files and everything, right? Which was sent to my handheld, right? So I stopped by the side of the road, I went through everything. And then what I did, I called the clients on WhatsApp. And we did the consultation on the WhatsApp because I already had the information that was available to me, right? Go ahead. There's a point I'm making here for you guys. This is someone who does not live in Trinidad. One was someone in the US, and the next one was someone in Canada. In 15 minutes, I went through everything over the phone with that goodly gentleman. And he said, Dr. Batson, I understand your system. and I understand why you do what you do. Because if I was to take all that information in the beginning, no, it wouldn't make any sense. 15 minutes, we did that. Then he was referred back to the consultant who had all the information, the prescription, everything. And right now, I think, yeah, the man, he get the products, the man done start to do what he has to do. He done start to feel good already. So the point is effective and efficiency. I mean, there are some people I understand who want to, we want to see Dr. Batson, we want to see Dr. Batson. But I'm saying to you, all the time, it is not humanly possible. But that does not change the fact of us getting you the results that you want. Please understand that. Right. So with that being said, the telephone numbers for the Shoguna's office, where we'll be having that walk-in clinic session Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week, as well as the 24th, the 25th, and 26th, which is next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You could avail yourself of that. That telephone number again for head office is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Cindy Hoyt. Honeybee says, so wait, how Honeybee don't have that personal number? What really going on here? You know, girl. Miss Melissa Richards, good morning. Honeybee, I want to see the Honeybee, you struggle with. Pleasant good morning to you, my dear. So, with that being said, Mr. Carter, sir, the floor is yours. Allow these people to know the telephone number, the contacts, and let's get this show on the road.
Yes, those numbers would be 625-2759 or 624-7729. Let me repeat that again. That's 625-2759 or 624-7729. And you can also WhatsApp your messages at 333-9950. Again, that's 333-9950. To you, Dr. Batson.
Yes, good. We have Miss Roses Dial. Yeah, she says, good morning. Yours truly, Dr. Batson. Last Sunday, we were told that you had walk-in clinic on Wednesday at 10, was there with others and told that you would be in right at 2. Was a bit disappointed, but nevertheless, I got my Santul and I wanted the circulation tea, but none was in stock. Hope you got the tamarind sauce. Okay. No, not as yet, because I have not been in Shogunas this week here. Oh, okay, that was this Wednesday. And the reason for that is because there was a change in the day where I had to actually do a makeup day for St. James. So I actually worked St. James this Wednesday that went here, as opposed to Shogunas, because we had to make some adjustments. And that's what I'm saying. That happens sometimes. I'm not saying that is an excuse, but there is a fail-safe system there to ensure that you get the information that you want. And let me also tell you something too. Even if it is for some reason, because that was a situation where I had a COVID patient to deal with. It was actually 2 of them who were very critical, and I had to, revert to going to St. James as opposed to Shogunas. And that's what I tell you. The thing is, when you do what I do, emergencies always come up. And it's not as if you are not important, but the other person is just that an emergency. You ain't on the brink of one string hanging with life, if you understand what I'm saying. And the emergency persons will always take precedent, because at the end of the day, if you were in an emergency, you would want the same to be done for you. All right, so just understand that Dr. Batson have been working very hard and will continue to work hard, but we need to ensure that, as I said, we get the thing done. So let's give you the results that you need to get. So we're talking about diabetes this morning, right? One of the things that is, I have some homework for you guys, which I actually almost finished the homework. I haven't completed it. So most likely I may do a live tonight. I'm going to let you guys know where I have to understand. I could give you that information. That was actually on magnesium, the different types of magnesium that they have available out there, and of course, what is the most effective as regards to proper assimilation. So, proper value for the money that you spend, because we all work hard. Well, I'm saying I work hard, and I'm sure all of you out there do. We don't pick up our money in the road. So I am always a respecter of people's finances, so that you can get the best value for your money, right? So diabetes, we understand what diabetes is. Diabetes is an issue where you have elevated blood glucose levels. We also understand that there are different types of diabetes. Some people only know of type 1 and type 2 diabetes. However, you really have 5 different types of diabetes or diabetic situations. Type 1, which is insulin-dependent diabetes, which from the perspective of natural and integrated medicine is not really insulin-dependent diabetes, because a lot of people do not know that taking insulin actually makes your situation worse. And because if you understand what insulin is a hormone that is produced in the pancreas, primarily the islet of Langerhans in the pancreas. I mean, that was primary school biology. We all learned that going to school. What a lot of people do not understand is that your pancreas may be lethargic, your pancreas may be lazy, your pancreas may be gone on a vacation, but your pancreas is not dead. So when people tell you that your pancreas is not producing insulin, what they really need to say to you is that it is not producing sufficient insulin, or it is not functioning at maximum capacity. What does that mean? It means, therefore, that we need to get it functioning at maximum capacity or close maximum capacity. So what does that mean? It means that no organ in the human body could be dead and you're alive. So your kidneys can't be dead and you're alive. Your pancreas can't be dead and you're alive. It could be infected. As I said, it could be lethargic. A number of things could cause that. Because one of the things I was helping persons to understand recently is what is rubbish and the presence of toxins in the body and what they do. So with the diabetes situation, your pancreas could have cysts. Your pancreatic cancer, for example, is one of the most dangerous type of cancers. You all know why? Because of how many functions the pancreas has. And as a result, remember your pancreas is a metabolic organ. It is a digestive organ. The pancreas crosses or is primarily a part of 3 or 4 different organ systems in the body, the gastrointestinal system, the endocrine system. It plays a significant role in the metabolic system. So if that organ becomes cancerous, if it becomes lethargic, if it becomes lazy, it means that the function or the what is the body is supposed to be getting, the body is not getting. Good. But that does not mean that your pancreas is dead. So the thing is, when people actually take insulin injections, what they do is significantly increase insulin spikes. And if it is you understand what insulin, the relationship between insulin and glucose, you're going to understand why too much insulin is not good for you. I tell people, if you want to get blind very quickly, be on insulin. Insulin should always be a last emergency resort. And I say this without any apology. Because I think a lot of people don't understand that. Look at anybody who on insulin. Look how did this look. No way good. If you're looking good still, it's because you now start. Wait, you take that for a good 2-3 years. Tell me something. The first thing you start to realize is your eyesight start to go, and then you start to get fat, especially when you're injecting yourself in the stomach. So how do we correct that? How does that, how do we fix that situation? Okay, before I get into that, you have type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is your pancreas is functioning relatively good, but there is a problem with the receptor cells, right? Which type 2 diabetes is what is known as diabetes mellitus, my apologies. So what does that mean? So there are cells in the body that are called receptor cells, and the job of the receptor cell is to allow glucose, which is in your blood, which has no right to be in your blood in extended period of time, because your body uses glucose for what? Energy. But glucose cannot be stored or should not be in your bloodstream for excessive periods of time. So it is known as insulin resistance. Thank you, Ria Hariki-Sun. So the resistance to insulin is because you have all these toxins, all these chemicals in the body that is actually preventing these receptor cells from working properly. Because as I had given you some examples, some programs ago, where I was saying, what do you think gallstones is? Gallstones is rubbish in your gallbladder. What do you think a kidney stone is? Rubbish in your kidney. What do you think a fibroid is? Rubbish in your uterus, right? What do you think blocked arteries are? Rubbish in your arteries. What do you think arterial plaque is? Why do you think you end up with blocked arteries? That is buildup of plaque. What is plaque? You just use that? You just eat that? That good for anything? No, that is rubbish. And in all instances, you have inflammatory response, which creates an environment that is conducive to disease. When you really understand what inflammation is, and anyone who has diabetes has what? High levels of inflammatory response or inflammation in the body. We have said on numerous occasions that we know inflammation is good because inflammation is part of your immune response in the body. The problem is when we have excessive inflammation in the body. Hence the reason why prednisolone is one of the most recommended drugs in the Western medical fraternity, in pharmacology. No, it shouldn't be, because I don't like that drug at all. I have no respect for it. In emergency, no problem, because we understand what an emergency is, right? An emergency means that the physical body requires immediate attention. But we have come to the understanding that our body is not only a physical body, right? We know that by now, right? Our body is primarily a spiritual body first. It is after that, or not after that, but the levels going down, which is known in integrative medicine as downward causation. So you have a spiritual body first. After your spiritual body, you have something known as your supra-mental body, S-U-P-R-A, mental body, which is your subconscious mind. So people who are very deep in meditation and grounding and those type of things could have access to your subconscious mind, because not everybody could access that. That requires a specific ability to meditate and do certain things. Because your subconscious mind can control or is more powerful than your conscious mind. But not everybody could tap into that. Good. Then you have your mental body, which is your conscious mind. So that's what you are aware of. Right? Then you have your vital body, which is your energy body. So the point I was making, when we're looking at downward causation, so spiritual, supramental, which is subconscious, mental, which is conscious, vital, which is energy, and then the physical body. But in emergency, the body that requires the most work is the physical body. That's your organs, that's your blood. So if your blood pressure is elevated, 200 and something over one something, I mean, yeah, you could say some prayers, nobody can say no. Because if you know about deep breathing and meditation and that kind of thing, that alone could bring down your blood pressure. But not everybody know that. So it means now that the physical body needs to be addressed. So it means that when you go to the hospital, they ain't going to get no wheatgrass to drink. They don't know anything about that. They're not going to tell you to use CMOS because you cannot get that at that point in time. Why? Because the body is in a state of emergency. So you know what you're going to get? You're going to get a very nice injection, or they're going to put you on drips, where they, not drips, sorry, intravenous calcium channel blockers or beta blockers, or they give you an injection with a diuretic, so you get a LASIK injection, and then you start to urinate in high amounts. But the reason for that is because the emergency is that they need to get your blood pressure down. So you're going to have to take an injection. You're going to have to take the medication. Nobody's saying no. But when the emergency has gone, what we need to do? We need to deal with the rest of them fellas up the road. So we need to deal with the spiritual body. We need to deal with the supramental body. We need to deal with the mental body. And we need to deal with the vital body. And that is where nutrition, meditation, prayers, relaxation, grounding. Go and take a little sea bath. How long I had to take a sea bath? Is blue soap I'm looking for you? Long time. I need a sea bath. Bad. I was supposed to go for Easter, but they had too much people on the beach. Can't make no sense. They want to bathe in that water then and I get everybody juju. And that's why I'm trying to wash off. All right, don't worry. I just been, but I really need to do that. So I'll sort all that. But that's the point. So the physical body, and you're always, or you do not want to be in a situation where your physical body requires attention. That is what they call an emergency. That is why the hospital has something called accident and emergency. I always tell people that the hospital is not a hotel. So that's a molecule who just ill-treat all yourself, do all manner of foolishness. You know you're diabetic, you're eating cake, ice cream, everything you're eating. And then you get in the people hospital and say you can't get any bed. You're not an emergency. You didn't get bounced, you didn't get shoot. You understand? And that is the purpose primarily of the hospital. So understand the thing. So the question is, of course, going forward, how out of a crisis do you now deal with diabetes? And that is what we do at Batson and Associates, because inflammatory response will always cause disease. I often tell persons I am not in the politics of medicine, and I'm really not, and I have no intentions of becoming. I am not going to argue with no doctor. I don't have time for that foolishness. I always tell people that. Always. And you know why? Because you have to get better. Why are you sick for 15 years? I gave you an analogy, or an example some weeks ago where I was speaking about this particular gentleman who, at the age of 55, he was diagnosed with diabetes. Then he went from 3 years after, he was diagnosed with hypertension. Then 2 years after, he was diagnosed with cardiovascular disease. Then 3 years after, he was diagnosed with high cholesterol. Then 2 years after that, kidney failure. How that making sense? So you start off sick with one. That is like what? That is when you go into school. You go to school. You do diploma. You do bachelors. You do masters. You do PhD. Whatever. There is a gradual improvement or gradual increase, but not in disease. You don't want to start off with one thing, and when you finish, you end up with 10 different things. Do you? That doesn't make any sense, does it? So the question, of course, what are you doing wrong? And let me tell you something. Come out of the mentality. Come out of that mentality where you believe that you have a genetic, well, my mother have diabetes. Even though people, nothing does aggravate me more when people talking that nonsense for me, Stop using that crutch. It is a crutch. That is what it is. And crutches, we know, are only used when you are unable to walk. You think if you use that crutch the whole time, you'll be able to walk on your own? No, after a while, you get strong and then you go back to how you was before. So stop using this genetic, my high blood pressure is running with family. Yeah, it running in family because all they eating the same nonsense. Show me somebody in that family who just eat different and who just exercise and drink plenty water. I am sure they do not have hypertension. Positive. So stop that. Stop it. Mentally, it is blinding. Mentally, it is debilitating. And you see, the thing is, your mind is a powerful thing, right? Very, very powerful, especially the subconscious mind. So if you keep telling yourself, well, my mother had diabetes and my dog cousin had diabetes, and my cousin's sister down the road, and the dog and the flower pot and everything in that family have diabetes, you will what? Continue being a diabetic. Stop it. Because I always tell people I come from a family that had really bad diabetics. In fact, that is what killed them. And these were people who were very close to me, which is my great-grandmother, who was and that is on my maternal side, which is my mother's mother. I was fortunate to know her till the age of 16 years. And I always tell persons she suffered as a diabetic, suffered. She had a diabetic ulcer since I would have known myself, which may have been awareness from maybe 2-3 years to 16 years when she had died. And that sore never healed. It never healed. But she was my great-grandmother. I loved her dearly, 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 dearly. But in retrospect, when I looked at her lifestyle, she didn't eat well. There were certain things that she liked and certain things that she used on a continuous basis. And the knowledge I have now, I understood that she basically made herself sick. And then her son, who's my grandfather, who's my mother's father, was a bad, bad diabetic. However, he didn't treat himself well, and he used to drink alcohol. And it's not to say I'm airing my family's dirty laundry or anything like that. I don't know how much people in Trinidad just drink. But they don't understand how dangerous alcohol is, especially consuming alcohol alone on a regular basis, normal, not even good for you. Far more overconsumption. And I'm not even going to get into that discussion because people just want to tell you, well, Dr. Batson, they say it's good for the worms. And no, it is not good. Alcohol has no positive effect on the human body. If you didn't know that, you know that now. So make up your mind when you drink a little alcohol is either you do one of two things. You ensure that your lifestyle is, one, to negate the negative effects of the alcohol you drink once in a while, because all of us is big people. You go a little wedding, you go a christening, you go a little party, you'll take a little drink. Nobody is saying no. But understand it for what it is. And don't try to create an excuse and no. Don't do yourself that. Don't do yourself that. I always tell people, Einstein said the only people who do the same thing over and over and over and over and expect a different results is mad people. So if it is you know you're mad and you want to continue being mad and do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, that is no problem. But understand that that cannot be correct. Cannot be correct. And you cannot get better. I gave someone an example when I was speaking about diabetes, because that's one of my areas of specialization. If you have diabetes and you want to get better, I have testimonies galore with people who used to take insulin, they no longer take insulin. I have clients who came to me talking about 15, 16 different medication. Now they're taking none. The blood sugar read good, the blood pressure read good, the kidney move. And I was saying this recently. I had someone with stage 5 renal. The doctor said your EGFR is stage 5. You have to go on dialysis. And I worked with that gentleman. Diligent. He went through everything we did. Everything. And in a year and a half time, we brought his kidney from stage 5 to stage 2. Any nephrologist anywhere in the world going to tell you that's impossible. It is not impossible. You know why? We did what we were supposed to do. We gave the body what the body needs. Or you need to stop this foolishness. Or like killing all yourself. Stop it. Make a concerted effort. Diabetes is not your friend. The complications associated with diabetes, and this is something I was saying recently. You know, it's stuff. You come into the world, you know. You come in with your 2 eye open, seeing. You know what is color. You know what is yellow. You know what a hummingbird look like. You know what the northern range look like. And you trying to tell me you get diabetes and at the age of 45, you blind? You're blind, you know. You ain't partially blind. You ain't in between blind. You ain't midi blind. You're blind. You cannot see. How you go feel about that? That can't be no good feeling. And you would have understood, because some all they don't know better. They give all a bag of injection in your eyes. I tell people, you do not inject eyes. I don't care what, I have a total. I do not like it. And there are many things that you can do outside of that to correct the situation. However, it requires some work. And that's the problem. That's the next thing we have with people. Because when it is you have a child, my youngest diabetic client came to me at the age of 4. Nice child. If you see this child, and watch me, I read the riot attack on those parents. They wasn't pleased, but I could have cared less. I say, whoever they send all they here to me, because they didn't know who I am. I said, let me tell you something. I don't mince words and play games with people, you know. You have a 4-year-old child who is on insulin. And I told the parents, I said, if this child continues insulin, he would not live properly. By the age of 15, he's going to have complications. If so long, he would most likely have complications from the age of 10. His development is going to be stunted, 1. 2, he is going to have serious problems with his eyesight. By the age of 15, he might be blind. And the thing is, a lot of doctors wouldn't tell you these things because in their mind, you know, diabetes can't be healed and it has nothing to do with what you're eating. It has nothing to do with water. You think about that. That making any sense? When I questioned the parents and I asked them, I said, what do you give this child to eat? You know what they told me? They say he likes soft drink. So we used to give him soft drink to drink every morning. Now, in my opinion, they should jail both of them. They should get some licks too for that piece of nonsense. What it is you're doing? Children are innocent in this nonsense that's going on here, you know. They need to lock some all up. Bag of snacks and all this foolishness. I don't know how much time. And the thing is, all you know, go and buy something, mango in season, buy some mango and let your child sit down and eat it. In fact, you don't even buy mango in Trinidad. Well, I mean, some people, me, if I want the mango, I buy the mango. I'm sorry. I remember when I was in Tobago, my client said, Dr.Batson, we don't buy mango in Tobago. You know, if you see bags of mango I get, I give away mango when I come to Trinidad. Julie, 2 mango I don't make joke with. Julie and starch. Give your child a mango. You go and run about in the yard, you children, everything is a snack and a snack and a snack and a snack. Stop that nonsense. What in a snack good? Tell me. What it have inside of it? It have any potassium? It have calcium in that? It have magnesium? It have vitamin A, vitamin B? What it have in that? Nothing. Rubbish, rubbish, total rubbish. All you need to stop that nonsense. Stop feeding these children foolishness. Yes, we know busy. Yes, we know it's economics, not every time, but stop doing that, because what it is you're going to do, play stupid, play foolish, feed the child nonsense, and then you have a doctor bill that you cannot pay, and then you have a dead child. And that's why people going to have an issue with me, and I don't have no problem with that. Not everybody could like me. Such is life. You like me, you can buy me. You don't like me, you can sell me. So your opinion ain't really count where that is concerned. Because it's facts are talking. I'm not talking nonsense here. You know too much rice not good for you, but you sit down eating a whole basin of rice and you know you're a diabetic. Really, man? Come on, man. What you doing? What you doing? I was listening to TD Jakes the other day, and one of the things he said, because he was talking about himself, he said, I know I'm not supposed to eat all this oxtail. He said, I know I'm not supposed to eat the pork, ribs, and I know I'm supposed to get up and walk 3 miles every morning. He said, but sometimes I don't do it, and sometimes I eat the wrong thing. But I understand that what happens after that is as a consequence of my actions. And we have to do that. So when you go to a doctor, and the doctor don't ask you, hey, how much water are you drinking? Because that's one of the first questions it have on the evaluation form in our clinics. So we know if you know you're coming, Dr. Batson, I really don't drink water, Okay, good. You really don't drink water. But you're sick, right? And you want to get better, right? So if it is hydration is one of the most important factors in the human body, and you know you're not drinking enough water and you want to get better, what it is you're supposed to do, Trinidad and Tobago? What you're supposed to do, listeners of Sky 99.5, what you're supposed to do? Sit down and watch Dr. Batson and smile and tell him you don't like water? No. If you want to get better, you need to do what? Start to drink water. Start to drink the water. Change up the diet. Licoriceness is a hell of a thing, The Bible talk about it. The Bible talk about gluttony. So we have to understand that we need to change the choices, make better choices, and stop making excuse. Men, I just always talk to all you, don't listen. The hardness. Oh goodness, I don't know what to say again. I don't know how some of these women just make out to tell you. You know you're a woodworker, you know you're spraying. You can't, how you're doing agriculture and you're spraying. You're spraying, you would even take a little clean out, use a little sand to learn, increase your water intake, and you're going to watch me as a big man and tell me, no, I'm strong. Then 3 years after, you go to urinate, and this is actually an actual issue. This happened to someone. Get up, went to the washroom to urinate, and he could not pee. For nothing, he wanted to urinate. He could not pee. He went, try again, couldn't pee. And he reached a point where it became excruciating pain. So, of course, they rushed him to the hospital. And there's a device called a catheter. Or they must do some research after God is Google. Go on Google and go in images and type up catheter and see what that looks like. And when you see they push that inside of you, watch me. Why you want that? When all you needed to do is take your detox, drink your water, do your heavy metal cleanse, and no cancer would come and stay in that body. People who work with chemicals, I will say it again before I go to the telephone lines and entertain your questions and whatnot. If you're a welder, if you're an auto mechanic, you're a straightener and painter, you work in woodwork, you're spraying lacquer, and don't talk nonsense, man, tell me about you spraying it and you far, and yet listen to me. You do not see gases. Do you see gases? Could you see gas? Depending on the type of gas, is it? Do you see air? Could you determine just by plain sight what is in air and the quality of air? No, you cannot. So please, as the old people say, an ounce of prevention better than a pound of cure. and take your detox. Santulan is not $1 million. We had a little mix-up in one of our shipments, so we did not get Santulan this time. They actually sent it, and we got it and they sent it back unknowing to us. There was some mix-up that they had, but we're going to get it, God's willing. They already sent it back for us, so we should get, God's willing, by Tuesday, all the offices would be fully stocked again with Santulan. So please, 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 I'm begging all you, do, even if it is, come by Batson Associates, good, no problem, fine. Go somewhere, they must sell in some cleanse. It ain't good at Santulan, but take a cleanse. But do something. I'm currently dealing with a client with prostate cancer. This person, when they came to us, their prostate was ridiculously enlarged. We have the CT scan, we have the MRI, and we have the prostate ultrasound. I've worked with that person for 1 year, and we brought the prostate down by 3/4 of the size that it really. So it's just a little bit again to be normal size. All the inflammation is gone. The PSA has been reduced, but I don't really take PSA into consideration. PSA is not the most reliable test for prostate. It is not. And anybody in the medical community know that, whether you're a MD, you're doing allopathic medicine, Western medicine, whatever the case may be. So, gentlemen, please take care of yourself. Ladies, these hairdressers, they set up peroxide and all kind of thing, or they put in people here and die. Those things are poison. We know. You have your job. It have people who want the hair do. We have no problem with that. But you are the person standing up on your feet whole day and smelling these things. You know how much hairdressers we have lost in this country as a result of cancer? You all wouldn't know that. But I'm telling you, in Tobago, there was one in Tobago, nice lady. When they came to me, I couldn't help her. Her body, she had stopped eating. The body stopped. You see, whenever you reach a point where you cannot eat and your body turn off that switch for food, that is it. 99.9% of the time, that is it. You don't come back from that. So there are few people could come back from that. So please, Trinidad and Tobago, listeners of Sky 99.5, take care of all yourself. Take care of yourself. This lost foot thing, that's the next thing with these diabetics. You lose a toe. You lose a... Diabetes is not an enemy that you play with. I'm telling you. No matter how strong your feel is, no matter how your failure is, diabetes is not to be played with. But you have to understand that diabetes could be reversed. I've done it hundreds of times. We have done it. With gestational diabetes, with type 2 diabetes, and even type 1 diabetes. The thing with type 1 diabetics, all they have to work. I'm telling all you from now. You have to put out your pound of flesh. You have to work. Your diet, you have to do it. If you do not do it, you would not be successful. And that is what you all have to understand. Because you're already deficient in a number of things. You're deficient in selenium, chromium, magnesium, potassium. You have issues with boron and those type of minerals. The human body is made up of how many minerals? 102. You are lacking. Now, you might be taking vitamins, you might be eating, but your assimilation or your digestion is what? Compromised. Diabetes, regardless of the type of diabetes that you have, starts with metabolic and digestive imbalance in the body. That is simple biochemistry. So please, Olivia, let's do better than that. So those telephone numbers that you can get us on, you can call us on 222-8261. That's 222-8261. As well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. I'm going to be doing that marathon situation for Debe on the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th of April. Not April, sorry, May, my apologies. The 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, which is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the 6th, which is the Saturday. I have program on Thursday, so I don't work on a Thursday. Okay? Honeybay says, my daddy always give me the story about my grandmother who had diabetes. It was so bad that they had to cut off his foot. He said he's not losing his foot. Change his diet and reverse his diabetes. My grandfather also had a friend with diabetes who lost a foot. And every time he came, he would taunt my father and tell him he would have to cut off his foot, and my grandfather would insist that he would not be that would not be the case, and Rob to talk his feet when the man came back to look after him after years. All right, let me see if I think there was some part of that I missed. Oh, good. Yeah. So don't take that as a final sentence, because you know how you end up. The taxi drivers always our next set. We value all your, if all you're not working on the road, people can't go nowhere. Take better care of yourself. One of the problems taxi drivers have, you have to sit for extended hours, and you're sitting in a vehicle in that sort of heat. Take care of your prostate. Get your little castor oil, half and half with your coconut oil, and rub between your legs, all by your scrotum there. One of the things castor oil does, castor oil penetrates the body and it helps with lymphatic drainage. Make sure and drink your water, take a little cleanse, take something. As I told somebody recently, you cannot have a car and you're working from Port of Spain to Sawa. And everybody know where Sawa is? Port of Spain to Sawa, that's riding. Short drive. But if you have a vehicle and you're working from Port of Spain, well, that is not a route, but just to get the point across. Let's say you're working, okay, we go Port of Spain to San Fernando. The vehicle that work in Port of Spain to San Fernando, as opposed to the vehicle that work in Port of Spain to Sawa, requires what? Not more servicing. You have to do more oil change, parts, and that kind of thing, because the vehicle is under what? More wear and tear. So you can't be working. So some of y'all working from Port of Spain to San Fernando, but you're servicing like you're working from Port of Spain to Sawa, and some of you servicing at all. So as always tell people, there is a vehicle, there's an ambulance for cars, or vehicles. What is called an ambulance? A wrecker. When you're shut down, is a wrecker that's come for you. And when the human body shut down, what is the wrecker that is come for you? The ambulance. I remember I had a client from Shogunas. Every week that man was in the hospital. He gave me a testimony. I remember I went home by them. I was invited to a function, and he tell everybody in the function, he said, if it wasn't for this man here, I wouldn't have been alive today. And as I told the audience, I said it wasn't me, All I simply did was dot the I's and cross the T's. Almighty God did the rest. And that's what you all don't understand. Your body is magnificently made, and your body could correct a number of things. The problem is you need to give your body what your body needs. You need to give it that. You need to do that. And once you do that, your body is going to start to correct itself. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a little while, but you're going to get there, because persistence, dedication, and most importantly, consistency will get you and keep you where you need to be. So that being said, those telephone numbers, again, keep in mind those dates are Monday the 17th, Tuesday the 18th, Wednesday the 19th of April, as well as the 24th, 25th, and 26th. The thing is, we open all the time, You could go and get, but those days I would be there specifically for this particular. So I'm going to be doing all the reviews in the office on that day, and then subsequent to that, for your revisit, you're going to have one of the consultants, and then we move from there. It's a matter if one of my consultants review, it just didn't take nothing out of me to take up a phone and call you. Hi, Mr. So-and-so, you were in my office today. I'm reviewing your blood work here. I see you have a problem with poor circulation. You have a problem with it. I understand the medication you are on is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Based on what we have seen, we have recommended A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You would use this for this period of time, and then you come in and you have your revisit. I may require you, I will give you a letter would be done in the office. You could come and pick it up, or you get it same time for you to do A for us, B for us, C for us, G for us, whatever the case may be. But the process is going to be done. The process is going to be completed, and most importantly, you will be on your way to a better you. So again, those telephone numbers, 222-8261, that's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. Jazzy Janice Innes says, hi, Doc, I live in New York City. How can I get your products? You can just give us a call. You can WhatsApp area code. Well, of course, Trinidad area code 868-314-9975. and you can get all that information. Mr. Carter, sir?
Yes, my friend.
Yes, sir. Do we have any questions?
Question here.
Mhm.
Yes. We actually have someone who's been trying to, I think she sent a message a couple of times.
Oh,
Can thyroxine, 50 milligrams, cause your temperature to raise? 51-year-old female, hypothyroidism, 4.52.
okay, levothyroxine, okay, the medication, okay.
Yes.
It can. The thing is with thyroid problems, the thing is if you hyperthyroidism, which is high thyroid function, or you hypothyroidism, what is causing that? The thyroid is part of your endocrine system. The master gland in the endocrine system, because you have different endocrine glands, but you have a master gland. The master gland is the pituitary gland. So when you learn in integrative medicine, we do something called mapping, and mapping shows you the what we call is micro connections with different organs and organ systems in the body. There's a whole diagram and there's a number of things, but we understand the relationship between organs and organ systems, and which is why your organs, every organ in the human body is important. For example, if you remove your gallbladder, you end up with digestive problems for the rest of your life, simply because of the importance of your gallbladder. But a lot of people do not know that in cross mapping, which is what we call it, your gallbladder is not only part of your digestive system. The gallbladder crosses central nervous system and a number of things. Women, for example, who do hysterectomies, good doctors always try not to do surgery on people. I tell persons that. So a female who would do a total hysterectomy, which is where you remove your uterus and your ovaries in mapping cross. So your ovaries is not only part of your reproductive system, it is not only part of your endocrine system, but it also crosses aspects of your central nervous system. So women who remove their ovaries are now subjected to mental health issues, depression, anxiety, insomnia, and so on. But Western doctors will tell you you could live without your uterus. The nonsense that they talk in your ears is tell you, because it is nonsense, and I say that passionately, emphatically, and vehemently, that you can live without your uterus and you can live without your ovaries. Yes, you can, but the quality of life. And that's why I always tell women, take care of yourself, do your cleanses. Long ago, all women used to have like douche cans or kits or whatever they call it at that time, my great-grandmother and them. And women used to wash themselves on a regular basis and that type of thing. These women now don't know anything about that. Why do you think we have so many women with things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis? They have a polyp inside here. You have all of that is what? What is it? Rubbish. I'm giving you all the unadulterated truth. That is what it is. Rubbish. You're full of rubbish. Now, some people might find that offensive. Okay, good, no problem. But that's the fact. When you have problems with bad perspiration, if you have problems with bad breath, that have nothing to do with your mouth. Some people will brush your teeth 15 times and your mouth still smelling, obscene. The reason for that is not your mouth. What is it? It is your liver, your gastrointestinal system. There is something known as mucoid plaque. You all ever heard that? Mucoid plaque, M-U-C-O-I-D. Research it. Mucoid plaque is plaque that lines the intestines. Mucoid plaque is said to have the consistency of a rubber tire. You all hear me? Mucoid plaque has the consistency of a rubber tire, and a rubber truck tire. Not a car tire, not a SUV tire, a truck tire. So those of you who may have encountered tractors let's see what those tires look like. It has some tires wouldn't burn just like that. I'm just saying you shouldn't burn tires, but I'm just saying. And they're saying that mucoid plaque is the consistency of a rubber tire. So the whole lining of your intestines lined up with tire-like material. What kind of absorption you could absorb in your food? And this is not to be offensive to the people who may be a little on the weighty side or who may be a little obese. I try to be very. Some people say I'm not nice in what I say when I'm dealing with people who, need to lose some weight. And it's not that, It's not that I'm not nice, but the thing is, I think a lot of people do not understand why plaque like that, and not only that, visceral fat is severely damaging to your body. You see, the thing is, the human body has rules, like there are rules for everything. There's a reason why when you have traffic lights, green means go, red means, right? So if you decide to flout that and say, well, yeah, what, I break in the light, well, then wherever you get your take, whether it's a ticket, whether you're in an accident, you kill yourself or you kill somebody. But there's a consequence for that action. So when you break the rules of the human body, the rules of hydration, the rules of proper diet ethics, the rules of proper exercise and activity, you're going to pay the consequence. And in some cases, it's death. The father of modern medicine is a man called Hippocrates. And Hippocrates said, let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food. A lot of people don't understand that. So please try and do better than that. Right? Organs are very important. All of them. Try your best. Almighty God bring you into this world. Thank God you was born healthy. You're born with all. When you're ready to go and meet your maker, see if you could go with all now. Please. This thing where they tell you could live with one kidney and you could live. Nobody is saying no. You will live. But it's the quality of life that you're going to enjoy. If you know anybody who is not on dialysis yet, not that I do not deal with dialysis patients, I do deal with them because we can give you a better quality of life, help to lower your blood pressure, your blood sugar. Anyone who's on dialysis who we have worked with, they have always gotten improved results, always, overall. Better energy levels, better sleep, a better quality of life. If you're not on dialysis yet, and they're talking that, and you're disciplined and you're willing to do the work, notice the criteria that you need to follow, then you can feel free to give us a call and come. We will help you. We will move that kidney from now. Some people is require more work than others, but I have seen it over and over and over again. Do not play with hypertension. I always tell you all that. Diabetes bad, you see hypertension. Let me tell you how diabetes bad. Let me tell you the difference between diabetes and hypertension. Diabetes is a tactical fella. So here how he does move. He underlying, he quiet, he undermining you. It's like you get a little jab. M&M, kickboxing, them kind of thing. So you're getting side. You're only hitting you some lash in your waist by your ribs there. Little lash, one at a time. When you're done, it's because your ribs inflame, gone, and that is a day. But that happens over a period of time, so it takes some years. Hypertension don't work so. Hypertension is an executioner. He coming straight out the door. Poop, you're gone. You know why? Elevated blood pressure will give you something known as a TIA or a massive stroke. What are TIAs? TIAs are transient ischemic attacks. Anyone who has gotten a stroke, that is not the first stroke that you get. I don't care who your doctor is. No, I don't care what they tell you. I am telling you that. You have gotten strokes before. You get a massive heart attack, that is not the first heart attack. You have had myocardial infractions before. A lot of the times, they're not bad enough to kill you, but it is there. And if it is you're getting it, it means that that organ system needs what? Some work. But I think we have all these people with Parkinson and Alzheimer's and all these things now. You think it's because there's everybody, because they like to hit you this shot. We have this increase of vascular dementia and Parkinson's, and they give it in the convent and the college voice, which annoys me even greatly. Because when they're talking foolishness, they put it in proper English for you. This time, what they wouldn't tell you is how much water you're drinking, how often you're going to the toilet, what is your greens intake in your diet, how often do you exercise. Imagine they tell people with arthritis do exercise. That's the biggest pack of nonsense I ever hear in my life. A body in motion remains at motion, or in motion rather. A body at rest remains at rest. That's simple, basic physics. So when you have arthritis and your knee swell, your back hurting you, and all kind of thing, and you decide, well, the doctor tell me don't exercise. That is the worst advice. What is exercise? There are different forms of exercise. You could start to stretch and do certain things and start to move. When you have arthritis and you don't move, ladies and gentlemen of the jewelry, you are going to end up immobile, or worse yet, crippled, deformed. Why? You are not moving. Now I can understand you in pain. You say, but this man is a mad man. I in pain. My back hurting me. I no. And then no, 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 no. The problem with arthritis, you bring anybody with arthritis, you bring them, and you're willing to work. I am telling you, that pain that you was getting, we're going to improve that pain at least within your first month, 2 months. Because somehow they are a little more difficult than others to deal with it, because you can't be sick when God says let there live light. Since he found in the world you sick and you want to come by Batson and get sick in 1 month. I stopped working with smurfs and magicians and thing long time. They throw me out of that school. So I don't do no magic. I don't have no fairy dust and them kind of proper diet ethics, understanding. When we do that blood analysis on you, there's a reason why I'm an advocate of blood microscopy. I was saying Tuesday, there's someone I had in St. James' office, because yes, I would St. James on Wednesday. And this person was from overseas and they in the medical field. And she said, Dr. Batson, I've gone to many doctors. I have never seen what I saw Dr. Green pointed out to me. She said she never saw that yet. And her problem was high levels of yeast. The bacterial parasite in her blood was ridiculous. And she said, Dr. Batson, I now understand why I have so many headaches. I now understand why I feel dizzy. I now understand why I have situation, malabsorption. She had serious magnesium deficiency in the body. So when you have those things going on with you, and poor you there, your blood pressure going up high, you get tablets, you're taking your tablets every day, but you're not dealing with the root cause of the problem. You have a big belly, we want that big belly come down. I always tell people, a big belly, unless you're pregnant, a big belly don't match with nothing. Nothing to spoil your good clothes better than when your guts hanging over. What is that? The button kissing, you can't push in your pants. Good. No, you don't look good. That don't look good. That and walking stick is two things I don't like. A walking stick don't match with nothing. You have your good outfit to go to church. Somehow they're going to church this morning and you have a stick. What you put on that? The same material your dress make out of, you take it and tie it and the stick to match. That don't match with nothing. You spoil the whole outfit there after God. So you have to do something to fix that big belly. Give yourself some words of motivation and encouragement. Take out a photograph if you have to. As I always tell people, do the mirror test. Stand up in front, make sure if it is, especially you know yourself. So don't try and frighten nobody in the house. Wait until people home or lock a door. And you take off your clothes and watch that body. Watch everything. Watch under your eye. Watch your head. Watch your forehead. Look at your neck, all under your neck. They went under your neck black and you seen them lying. That's diabetes coming for you there, you know. He mightn't reach in the house yet, you know, but in the yard or in the area. So you come in. Watch your belly. You're satisfied with that belly? Now you make little 1 or 2 children, so we respect that. So you might have little 1 or 2 stretch marks, all right, no problem. But you must know that some people, you remove that there and the belly just lap over. That's not looking good. And most importantly, that's not healthy. That's visceral fat. You know what visceral fat is? Let me give you a quick explanation. Visceral fat is organ fat that covers your organs. It covers your liver. So when you see the doctor tell you have fatty liver, what they're really telling you is, you listen to me, you have organ fat, visceral fat around your liver, which is just as bad or worse than cirrhosis of the liver. And you know who does get cirrhosis of the liver? People who are what? Alcoholics. So all people who like this sort of cheese and the butter and it, you can't do without that. You can't have somebody tell me, Dr. Batson, I have to have my toast with my butter. I say, well, you continue having your toast and your butter, you need to get an ex-doctor with your toast and butter self. Because you need to stop drinking that, because the liver already showing serious signs of visceral fat. And it's the same cheese and butter that you're eating all the years. What give you that? So don't come and tell me about your toast with butter and your cheese. No. Those are the kind of people I'm talking about. I'm telling you what to correct yourself and you tell me about you like it and tell me you can't stop eat it. Yeah, and you expect me to see you as your doctor? Nah, you come in to frustrate me. You find my beard in gray enough and my head too black. We ain't going through that. Because we want somebody who want results. That's what it is about, results. So this visceral fat business all here, you're yourself in a gear. It is problematic. Visceral fat, while you are asleep, and here what this do, it produces what? cytokines, prostaglandins, which are what type of chemicals? Inflammatory chemicals. Go and research it. Now, our clients say, I feel attacked. Well, you know what I'm going to tell you? The truth is offend. As I say, I'm not attacking nobody, I'm just telling you. You have to do better than that. That big belly don't look good. It don't look good. Tell me, lying. That don't look nice. And do to some men and they tell you about, oh, they are shed for tool and a whole pack of nonsense. Your belly big and that not looking good, that not looking good. And most importantly, apart from not looking good, and if you're with somebody who like a teddy bear, no problem. I have no problem with that. I'm not getting involved in your likes and dislikes. That is not my concern. I am telling you from the perspective of health, it is not a healthy practice. You see, the problem with most people is that Western doctors, one half of them don't know what it is I know, or not even half of them, about 95% don't even know. It might have 1 or 2, 5% who know. As someone told me the other day, they went to a doctor and there was a particular situation with her. And the doctor told her in the hospital, he said, there are a lot of things you could do for this, but I can't tell you. So I am not going to do like them. I will tell you. Good? And the raw truth, which I believe in, is what you need to hear. You know why? Because you want to feel better. You want your skin to glow. You want your hair to continue growing. And if you have bald spot, you want the bald spot to full up. Because why? You want to look nice. And you don't want, because some people like roll on, roll off, You have a nice new number plate that they paint you over, but your engine is 1,000 years old, and you have a set of old parts inside of you. We have plenty of people like that. You're looking nice on the outside. Some of you ladies, beautiful. The hair well, do your thing, your that. But when you say they look inside there, you ain't getting bowel moving. You in the toilet once a week and once every 2 weeks. You could imagine the condition of your inside when you go in the toilet once for the week. You have to do better than that. Just somebody say how the stomach high, but it's not lagging over. Yeah, so let me start to work on the belly. And the thing is, think about it now. We in? Today's April the 16th. If you start to work on that belly, if you start to drink more water, and drink your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. If you start to use a little santulan, use a little alkagen water, take a little cleanse. Today is the 16th of April, Sunday. You ain't think if you do that for a month, if you do it for 2 months, if you do it for 3 months, you ain't think by June, July, that belly that you have will go down some, your energy level will go up. You don't want that? That's what you want. The thing is, everybody want to look nice, everybody want to look nice. They want to wear the nice jeans. You like to see when ladies dress up, you wear that nice jeans and nice shoes, your shirt, you're looking good. You're looking, but this belly thing, I can't deal with a big belly. I cannot. What is that? What is that? So Trinidad and Tobago, the listeners of Sky 99.5, and to everybody out there who have a big belly, please don't feel attacked. Dr. Batson not attacking you. We just want the big belly to go down because I want your husband, your wife, whoever, to get, proper thing. Because it's not them big belly men that's telling about my belly does. No, you're talking foolishness. We all always big people and we know what is going on. Don't come and mix words and play games for big people. I can't handle that. And ladies, same thing with y'all. Same thing. Need to get everything else could stay. The boss could stay, the legs and the buttocks could stay, but we're not dealing with the big belly. We're not dealing with that. That is keep back plenty thing. And some of them like antics. I'm not getting disrespectful anything, but some of them like antics. So you have to have, now it has some thick ladies could move, but no proper thing. Right? So to y'all who hearing me for the first time, I don't talk like the regular doctors, and I make no apology for that. That's not going to change. So if you want that change, well, then you need to stop listening to me. I'm telling you plain and simple. And feed all your children better. Stop this nonsense and giving these children this set of foolishness and this set of old soft drink and juice to drink. Y'all will regret it. You bring any child for me. Let me tell all of this before we go back to the radio station. Remember, our telephone numbers for the Shogunas office, that number again is 222-8261. 222-8261. The WhatsApp is 314-9975. 314-9975. David, Office is corner Ramsamut Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. The telephone number for Debe number is 223-7515. 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. 220-8113. St. James again is 220-8113. That's Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. You see now, you see all it. Honey, they say, no self, I had to join the gym. Look, the man saying he don't like big belly. No, what you gonna do with that, man? According, we want proper thing, proper thing. Even if you're slim, thick, people just like to tell you that big bones. Your bones in big. Your bones, everybody bone is almost about the same size. I mean, granted, depending on your structure, your bones might be different in terms of, you know, you might have longer bones or something, but tell me not about your bone big or nothing. It's fat, you're fat. That is what that is. And you need to do something about that. Because if you want to be healthier, and don't come and hit me the shortcut thing. You see, wedding season coming, all in all yourself. Do not come to my office in April and say, Dr. Batson, I want to lose 25 pounds in a month because I have a wedding to go. You will go to the people wedding fat. You hear what I'm telling you? Because I don't do them kind of magic. You're looking to kill yourself and you want to get me in problems. I'm not going through that. We're doing proper diet ethics. You see these fad diets, all they like, these things where you're going and drinking a sort of thing, then you lose weight and then you put on 24 million pounds more and you're vexed with the world a year after, and then you're going into depression, eating, and you keep no. You're spinning top in mud, as the old people say. That ain't making no sense. Do the thing properly. So I'm saying to y'all, June, July, August is wedding season. Today is April the 16th. All in all, you want to lose weight? Come this week and start to sort out all yourself. Do not come to me June and tell me you want to lose 25 pounds to go to no wedding. You're going to go to the people wedding fat. I'm telling you that. Or you'll go and starve yourself and do whatever, and when you end up in problems, then that's you and your business. Do the thing properly. The last minute and the shortcut, I do not encourage it, especially when coming to your health. That's like some of these diabetics. You know you have sugar, you go on the people wedding and the this and that, you eat cake, you eat ice cream, eat your guts full, and then you go home, you test your sugar, and your sugar is thing, and you're going to take, instead of taking the one metformin, you're going to take 6. All in all yourself. Stop that foolishness. Stop it. That's how all it is end up with metabolic issues, and then your kidneys start to fail and you stop the nonsense. So all the ladies, these lovely ladies who know all they want to go to the wedding, we are in April. I don't think people just get married in April. I don't know, I'm just saying. We know June, July, August is wedding. So you all have, we are May, we are June. Or at least give all yourself a 6 weeks and come and lose all the weight properly. Do not call my office. All they are saying it. There's a reason why I'm saying that, because every year we just have that nonsense to deal with. They come in and watching me and smiling. Dr. Batson, I want to lose 50 pounds. What it is you feel I have? A steamroller? What you want me to do? No. Do the thing proper for me, please. Please. So, Mr. Carter, sir.
Yes, my friend.
Carter, like he can't help himself in the corner there. Yeah, facts this morning. Again, it nice. Nice today.
Before we move on to play a voice note, there's a messenger. She actually said, not dealing with health issues. It's Dr. Jason Batson, single and no stomach hanging over here. So let's move into the
Oh God, oi.
Listen, good morning to all Sky Radio listeners. Dr. Batson, your program is very interesting to me. What can women use to wash?
Oh.
Long ago, women used to have a lot of things to clean out. Now, women don't do those things anymore. I, for one of those women, would like to know what woman can use to wash. Because at this day and age, in my 50s, I am still having my periods, and it is very, very painful and uncomfortable. Thank you very much. Have a blessed Sunday and a productive week ahead, each and every one of you.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, definitely. And there are some things actually that I'm in the process of working on to get, because you have those, because the vaginal steaming, for example, you realize is something that well, how could I put this, boy? It has become Americanized, and usually anything that has become Americanized tends to be publicized even more than anything else. But vaginal steaming is something that has been done in the like Scandinavian countries, places like Sweden, Switzerland, those countries, and the Asians, of course, we know Philippines, Malaysia, China, Japan, those type of things. So there are packs that they have available. There is something that we're currently working on. We had a little challenge because of the COVID situation, where we actually have those packs that we get in for ladies now to do a little steaming. And steaming is a very good thing for women to do, to keep yourself apart from proper in terms of hygiene and that type of thing. But one of the things that steaming does is, help to remove things like clot blood. It helps to prevent the uterus from being bulky, which normally cause a lot of problems. Castor oil, I always tell persons, and we're actually working on that because there is a particular type of castor oil that is way better than some of the other ones. I know we do get the black Jamaican castor oil here, but it's usually very rare. In terms of you don't really get much, it finishes very quickly. But the thing with castor oil, especially for ladies, it is very good for rubbing on your navel, very close to the side between, well, not between your legs, ladies, on the side, inside of there, across, because what that does is that it helps to break up a lot of clots and that type of thing. There's a product we carry at Batson and Associates called uterine formula. We were getting some problems with that, but we have now fixed that. Our supplier is back up and running everything, so we have that in abundance. That as well as women formula. Santulan is also a very good thing for the internal aspect. But give me God's willing by about a month, and we would have that other product, which is for the steaming and that type of thing. Ladies, that is a very, very good thing, as I said, to keep yourself in a gear, because we have too many women now go in and do pap smears. And when you go and do the pap smear, what you're realizing is that the pap smear is, there's something called squamous cells, or they see these abnormal cells, which is very easy to get in that area because of, and ladies, don't get me wrong, is not a hygiene issue that you have, but you have to understand, because of the anatomy of females, you especially those of you with the sanitary napkins and those type of things. Remember, there's an opening in the body, So anything get up inside of there, you're going to be in some problems. If you understand what I mean. So it's very important. Even the underwear you wear, I think women might now know you're not supposed to wear underwear that is spandex, and it have the fancy ones like tongues and that type of thing. That is for occasion, Valentine, niceness. You're going on your business, you wear that. But under normal circumstances, that is not something. Hygiene-wise, it is a dangerous thing because of where that passes and the problems. All of us is big people, all they understand what it is I say. Do the thing proper. Men, we fortunate in the sense that the way a man makeup from organ-wise, there are a lot of things that wouldn't affect men the way it affects women. And then, of course, you have to know with your partner when you're doing you make sure and wash yourself after properly and that kind of thing. Because all of us, you're big people, after your session, don't go and knock out just so. Go and bathe, clean up yourself and thing, and then you could go and lie down and sleep. But don't lie down and sleep and wallow in. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's going to give you some problems. Good. One of the questions as well, too, as regards to the uterine plus. Uterine plus is a product, is liquid. You basically take 1 tablespoon and 8 ounces of water in the morning, 1 tablespoon and 8 ounces of water in the evening. We had a lot of excellent results with fibroids, polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, endometriosis. And one of the things, let me say something, ladies, quickly. When you're looking at fibroids could be broken up and passed out of your body naturally. The thing with women with fibroids, you always wait too long, and these fibroids have a mind of their own. When they see they have that blood supply and they get in that nonsense, man, they're going to get very big. So try your best and deal with that, because the thing is, when those fibroids get really large, and depending on where they're located, you end up with severe bleeding. And then based on what I was saying at the genesis of the conversation, what you end up with now is a situation where you have all this buildup of rubbish in the uterus, and then you end up with heavy bleeding. You're in an emergency situation because you're bleeding, your blood count low, and you are now in an emergency case. And as I said before, when you are in an emergency, the physical body takes precedent. The doctor is going to have no choice but to do a hysterectomy on you. Do not put yourself in that position where you end up in a situation. Ask how many women that happened to. Hundreds, thousands of women, hundreds of thousands of women who have reached a point where the fibroids have gotten so big where you end up with things like adenomyosis, endometriosis, and as a result of that now, you have severe, heavy bleeding. And of course, if you have that bleeding every month, twice, 3 times a month, what's going to happen? Your blood count is going to get low, and the doctor, who is within his or her right, is now in emergency situation, and the doctor, because the thing is, let me explain something to you all. When you go to have surgery, there are documents that you sign. You're all aware of that, right? The documents that you sign gives the surgeon, in his or her capacity, when they're inside of the body, they're going to have to do what they see fit. And remember, you're dealing with human beings, you're not dealing with God. So sometimes the decision they make may not work out in your best interest, but at the end of the day, they are the person who is in charge at the point in time. A perfect example, sometimes you might go in to take out a fibroid. So you might go to do a myomectomy, or you might go to do a non-myomectomy, sorry, embolization. No, myomectomy is when they take out the fibroid. Embolization is when they cut the blood vessels. My apologies. So you may go in, the doctor may go in there to do that. But when he goes in, he or she, and they have you there now, they realize they only seen a lot of scar tissue and adhesions. The fibroid may be fused to the uterus. It may be fused to your intestines. You all don't understand. When you see how these things look, they don't look good. And it's not a sign of being healthy. So the surgeon, in his or her wisdom, has no other choice but to remove the entire organ. Please don't do yourself that now. Ladies, you know you're a little heavy on the meat. You know you're a meat mountain. You know there's some of you love chicken. They beat all you with chicken. You gotta eat chicken every day. Watch yourself. Because we know a lot of that, because of the production and because of demand and supply, they use chemicals, they use hormones, they use antibiotics, and those things affect women primarily. Men get affected too, which is why we have men with gynecomastia, and we have so many men with thyroid problems and that type of thing. Is all these hormones in this food. So you have to be careful what you're eating. But the point I'm making, try your best and address that situation in the earlies, because you do not want a hysterectomy. All your organs in your body have a purpose, and you want to, as I say, you came in this world whole, go and meet your maker whole for me, please. Okay, so those telephone numbers, again, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsamuch Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That number for Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Ball, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That telephone number is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. I'll be working in Tobago, God's willing, from the 8th to, I believe, the 13th. So it'll be the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th. Yeah, 6 days. Right? That's May. God's willing. We'll be going in that new office, and we'll be able to do your blood analysis, your scan, and whatever the case may be. As Sammy Richards says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Just need to know if all the products for female reproductive health are stocked at all the offices currently. Yes, we do. So we have women's formula. We have uterine plus. What we're working on assiduously to get is that hormone, that female balance, which again is an excellent problem. So female balance is the only one we don't have, but we have women's formula and the uterine plus. So at least they could start with that. Keep in mind, women, if you have a problem with low blood count, Santulan is not to be used initially. We have to get that blood count back up, where we have like our greens plus, inflammation formula, advanced chlorophyll, those type of things. So, you know, it's very important that you get the information and we move accordingly. Again, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. Mr. Carter.
Yes, my friend, we actually have another voice. So yes, so let me play this voice that I missed this one.
Hi, Dr. Batson. You just have me laughing on a Sunday. I can't wait to see you in person. Honestly, though, you just lift my spirit. See the way you just talk and put your words into place. Oh my God. You have a way to do it. You just get the real stuff. I just get the real stuff. It is really, really have me laughing on a Sunday. There's a move from my foot on the radio until you finish. Yes, Dr. Batson, my life is stopping. Just really home read. Really, really, really home read. I'll wait to come and see you.
Thank you very much, my dear. Thank you so very much. And as I say, plain talk, bad manners. Miss Marge Hill says, she asks a very interesting question. Let me touch on this. She says, Doc, is it too late for us who have already done hysterectomies? No, I mean, the thing is, you already did it. We can't turn back the hands at time. I believe in integrative hormonal therapy because there are a number of natural things that you can use to assist women who would have done hysterectomies, women who would have PMS. PMS is the next thing that is becoming very serious in the world, not only in Trinidad. So many women going into depression, anxiety, sleeping problems. If you really understand PMS, and a lot of men don't realize why the spouse or the partner's behaving. These women, we love you guys. I mean, you could be a little, or it could be a little troublesome sometimes. You just want to hear ladies in your ears every minute. The word, like my grandfather used to say, you're nagging. So it's not necessarily a situation of her being nagging or a situation of women just being miserable or they don't want to. When women going through PMS, they don't really have any desire to have any kind of intimacy. I mean, all of us is big people here. And, that could put a strain on your relationship. You have a husband and, you have your duties as a wife and vice versa. Men don't feel only getting out of the race too. We have something coming for you all day for the engine and the under chassis to make sure everything running because it's a vice versa. And that is a very important thing as regards to women. So it's not like if your wife don't want to be intimate with you because she just been wicked and she don't want to be intimate. But these women genuinely have hormonal imbalance that causes serious, not only hormonal problems, but mental problems. And the thing is, when you're mentally not in a place, you might think, she miserable or she holding back on you or she must be doing something outside. It's not that. It's not that. The body is in a state of disrepair. And hormones are very important. And let me tell you something. When you have hormonal imbalance, you are in a bad place. It is not a nice thing. These women, they just cry just so. I talking about you will be in a situation, the place happy, everybody happy. We in the middle of our wedding, and they crying, and you must be saying, well, but you going mad. It's not that. It is the hormonal imbalance that these women experience. PMS is not a nice thing. It is not. I have experienced it firsthand with clients. And let me tell you something, women with PMS, it do be nice. It do be mad. The depression, the anxiety, watch me, it is alarming. And then the unfortunate thing is sometimes you go to the doctor and they don't really deal with the root cause of the problem. They put you on things like Reveltril and amitriptyline and all that, messing you up even more because it changes the body chemistry and we're not dealing with the root cause of the problem. Honeybay says ribbon cutting in Tobago, Doc? Question mark. No, we're not cutting ribbon yet. But we're going to be open. Ribbon cutting will take place later on in the year because there are some other things that we want to put in place. But I need to open that office because my Tobago clients are getting antsy and I need to service, persons how they need to be serviced in Tobago. So, yeah, you know how we are. We could always better our best and we're working on that, but we're going to get that office open, get the race started. And of course, eventually you'll reach the finish line soon enough, right? Cindy Hoyt says, what? Wait, let me start packing. Yeah, that's so we're gonna organize that. Marge Hill says, oh God, my husband have to hear this. My family thinks I am too sensitive. No, 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 no. It's really a terrible thing. And PMS is something that I'm actually going to be doing a whole month on PMS, God's willing. I haven't decided if it is we're going to do it for the month of May for mothers, that whole Mother's Day where we do our Mother's May, and we focus a lot. We're going to have some promotions and things for the ladies because we got to make sure and take good care of you all. Every one of us have a mother, and we understand how important women are in our lives, and we want that to continue. We want you all to be healthy, nice, so you can be able to play with your grandchildren, and you can experience life. It's not nice to have hormonal imbalance. It's not nice to have depression. I think anyone listening to this program would have gone through depression at some point in time, whether you were disappointed at a situation, you went to a job interview, you didn't get a job interview, you're going through stress. And depression is a serious thing. In fact, World Health Organization is calling depression the unseen pandemic, in the sense that there are so many persons who have this situation with depression and hormonal imbalance and that type of thing. Honeybee, yes, Cindy. So, Cindy, I will let you all know when we have been ribbon cutting. Don't worry yourself. You and Honeybee have to be front row and center for that. All right? So, again, those telephone numbers for the Tobago office is going to be May the 8th to the 13th. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You all will get me for that entire week. I'll be going with my consultants, but we'll alternate. So Mr. Vialva, Mr. Green, we adjusted accordingly, Ms. Ramdan. Okay, Honeybee, say we have to call Jessica. Yeah, the Brat Squad have to be present, front and center. Good. In addition to that, someone is asking the question. Ms. Sharon Theodore says, Dr. Batson, can you touch a little on women with breast cancer and if they have to take chemo? Well, the thing is, as I tell persons, I don't get into the politics of medicine, and I will stay out of that. What I can say with breast cancer, and I always tell women a very good thing to do. These are some of the jewels that I like to leave with you all. Get your vitamin E. Very good. Vitamin E is actually a serious preventative measure for breast cancer. A lot of people do not know, because what it does, it actually keeps proper lymphatic drainage in the breast. If you look at from the perspective of anatomy and physiology, if you look at what a breast looks like from the aspect of anatomy and physiology, you're going to realize it has a lot of ducts. So there are a lot of fine vessels going through there. What happens to women, and this is how you end up with breast cancer, is that those ducts become blocked. And what happens, you don't have proper removal of waste, and that stays there and creates a situation with high inflammation that now causes breast cancer. Right? So you want to keep those vessels in there very pliable. You want to keep the blood flow. You want to keep lymph flow in there. That's why when women get breast cancer, they remove your lymph nodes. Now, I do agree in the removal of lymph nodes, but the reason why they remove the lymph nodes is that if it is you have cancer in your breast, then it has cancer in the lymph nodes as well. Why they remove the lymph nodes, I don't know. I do agree with that. Because when you break the lymphatic system, you break a continuous chain of cleansing, and your lymphatic system is the system that cleans your circulatory system, right? So, ladies, it is very important to keep that blood flow and keep that circulation. Castor oil, the black Jamaican castor oil, half and half with your coconut oil, you heat it a bit, you rub under your arms, you rub on the side of your breast, all on the breast with the exception of your nipples. It is a very good way to cleanse your breast out. You continue drinking your water, you use your vitamin E. I normally tell people when you're using vitamin E, you use vitamin E usually comes in IUs, which is international unit. I think it comes in like 4,000 IUs. So anything between about 8,000 to 10,000 IUs you can use a day. And that is something that helps significantly with breast health. All right, ladies? One of the things too as well, let me also say a pleasant good morning to our Instagram followers. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Instagram. On Facebook, we are Batson and Associates we are Batson and Associates TT, and on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. So feel free to join us. We are also, Dr. Batson on TikTok. So you can like us, share us, and of course, all these lives that we do are there. You could always send it to someone. I know there are persons who you may have recommended to us, but and I always tell persons, I don't force anybody to come to us. We provide the information, and if you're comfortable and you figure, here, what I feel this man could help me, I feel this organization could help me, well, then you're welcome. As I said, we just try to explain, and I try to help people to understand that, it is a matter of understanding, what it is you need to do. So don't kill yourself unnecessarily. Those of you who are diabetics, I continue to work with you. I'm one of the most dedicated practitioners in diabetes in this country. I don't give up on diabetics. So I've had persons who came to me with one toe, two toe missing. They wanted to cut off their foot. They still have their foot. I will work with you to the very end, but you have to put in the work. Eyesight, we're going to do a lot of work on eyes. We have eye optics formula. The MSM we were getting some problems with, but we have already corrected that situation simply because the supplier didn't have, right? But that's a good eye drop I like to use. In the middle of the year, we're going to be getting a newer IT together with the one that we already have. We're going to be getting a new circulation tea primarily geared for high blood pressure, because of course we having these persons with hypertension issues, and hypertension is very close to causing or is responsible primarily for renal failure. And we don't want persons to end up on this dialysis. Is not a nice thing. It's not a nice thing. I mean, when I speak, I know people who may be on dialysis already. They're hearing this. They don't feel good. But, we can't turn back the hands of time. You didn't know about me and I couldn't help you at that particular point in time. But now. So it's a matter of taking better care of yourself. Don't think because you're on dialysis, you're going to eat what you want and do what you want. I know people who are on dialysis who eat a lot of foolishness. Don't do yourself that. Because what you do when you eat all that nonsense, you give that dialysis machine more work and you put yourself in a situation, especially if you consume a lot of meat, what it does, and dairy, it could cause the situation for your blood pressure to become very elevated on that dialysis machine, and you can die. People do die on dialysis machines. I'm not saying that to frighten you, but as I said, I am the doctor who says what a lot of other doctors wouldn't say or don't like to say. So I will take the brunt of, not being the most favorable in the eyes of a lot of people, but that's quite all right. It's a matter of getting it out there and having you to understand certain things. Alicia Stafford asked the question, good morning, Dr. Batson. Do you use olive oil on the breast? You can. Olive oil is a very good oil for skin application. Coconut oil, I love. As I said, the castor oil, so you could mix castor oil with olive oil, you could mix it with coconut oil and apply on the breast, with the exception of your nipples. You're not putting it on your nipples, right? So it's a matter of, around that area, you put on something to make yourself comfortable, because when you sleep, castor oil is very messy. Yeah? So, you're going to have maybe spread something so your linens don't get, soiled, because there's a lot of work to clean for it to take it out. Women who have, even people with men, this is something that men could do too as well. You actually mix the castor oil with the coconut oil and rub it on, in between your legs, on your scrotum. Yeah, I said it, on your scrotum. Is your scrotum. Massage it, rub it, leave it there. It's very good for lymphatic drainage, flushing out the prostate, that type of thing. So, take care. That's your seeds, They have a thing now, they're cutting out everybody's seeds and going with it. And I don't know if you have a collection of seeds or if, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But I am not an advocate of the removal of organs, especially your prostate. If you remove your prostate, your male function is significantly decreased, if not goes to zero. Contrary to popular belief, people tell you can remove your prostate and you could still maintain a proper erection. That is a lie. I always tell people, if a horse accustomed pushing a carriage and the carriage not there, then the horse going to have problems. There's a reason why you have a scrotum attached to your private part. But, people might, when you look at based on anatomy and physiology, where location is, there's a reason why it is there. Right, gentlemen? You don't want nobody taking out your prostate. Again, there are a lot of people who wouldn't agree with me, but you come with all your organs, go with your organs. A man's virility, a man's ability to maintain and get an erection is affected by his prostate. It is affected by testosterone. There's a reason why Almighty God have testosterone in a higher concentration with men as opposed to women. Now, there are anomalies, as we do have anomalies because of sin, right? There was an athlete. What was her name, boy? Was Casta Simine. Excellent athlete, strong up female. But one of the arguments that they had, because the Olympic governing body, she had some issues in athletics where they said that she had an unfair advantage over women because she had a higher level of testosterone. So because of that, she had more endurance and whatever the case may be. And I personally find that they were quite unfair in dealing with her, but that was a whole different discussion. But the point is testosterone, because one of the things they do with prostate cancer and even women with breast cancer and women with ovarian cancer is they give you things to block your hormones. And I have a serious problem with that. Because you didn't end up with prostate cancer because of excessive hormones. You ended up with prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer because of the presence of carcinogens and an improper functioning immune system. That is why you get cancer. Good. And if you had hormonal balance and you have excessive testosterone, there are things that you could do to naturally balance that testosterone, just as there are things that you can do to balance estrogen and progesterone properly. Remember, the human body always tries to maintain, it always tries to accomplish and consistently maintain what? Homeostasis or balance, equilibrium. Whatever word you want to put there, once we know, it means balance, equilibrium, homeostasis. So when you have problems, it means that the body is out of balance. It means you either have too much of something or you have what? Too little of something. So we have to make the correction. So please, you come with your seeds, you came with your testes, you came with your prostate, because you know, some people might say, well, why is he saying seeds and not the correct biological terminology? I talk in plain. All I want all you to understand properly what I'm talking about. Because some people, if you ask them what prostate is, they don't know. So, gentlemen, we're speaking about your scrotum, your seeds, the two bags that you have that hang there. That's what we're talking about. So go get your castor oil, get your coconut oil, mix it, you heat it a little bit not to burn yourself, and rub down your seeds, right? Because we want you to keep your seeds healthy. I'm talking plain for you today, layman's term, right? Take care of your seeds because they're cutting off seeds left, right, and center. I don't really going to take that. We're going to do cut off that and put it and preserve it and hang it on your Christmas tree. Why you want to take off your prostate for? You know you like plenty meat, especially pork. You know they like pigtail, pig this, pig that, pig the other, pig everybody. Make sure and take it clean out. Because pork is a meat that is a troublesome meat. And we know that. Especially pork with preparation and that type of. I'm not getting into the religious aspect of who does eat pork and who don't eat pork, and I'm not in that. Good. I get it in the aspect of what it does to your body, and if it is you have a diet that is conducive to increase to cause inflammatory response, you're going to end up with a problem with your prostate. They don't do digital exams again. There are some urologists who still do digital exams. I don't criticize nobody. That is their business. You have prostate ultrasounds. You have MRIs. You have CT scans. I do not believe in prostate biopsies. Who disagree with me, no problem. If you want to go and lie down and let it cut off 14 pieces inside of you or 12 pieces and take it and separate it and send it to a pathology lab to determine whether you have prostate cancer or not, that is your concern. And that is your doctor's recommendation. It is not my recommendation. And I have numerous reasons why I do not agree with biopsies. I do not like them. I do not like them. You do not need to do that. And again, that is my personal, professional opinion. And there are many doctors who share my opinion. So we could agree to disagree. I have no problem with that. I'm not letting, they ain't doing me that. I ain't going through that. I'm not going through that. Right? Men, you know, if it you didn't check yourself in a while, a prostate ultrasound is not $1 million. You could come, I could do a letter and send you. Let it go and do a prostate ultrasound on you. Because we have too many men now losing the prostate and dying from prostate cancer. Cancer is the next thing, it's not your friend. When you see that start to come for you, it's because it would have already taken root in the body. And understand that when it takes root, we need to deal with it from a different perspective because there's a monster you're dealing with. And let me tell you something. Your diet, and I said this over and over and over and over, if it is you have cancer, I am not getting in the politics of your chemotherapy and your radiation. Dr. Batson will never tell somebody not to do chemotherapy. I tell you, I ain't getting no court case, strip it, and I'm not going through that. But what I am saying to you regardless of however you decide to deal with it, because our oncologists will tell you all kind of things. And I went to school just like them, maybe even more so. So I know what it is I'm talking about. You need to address the dietary aspect when you are dealing with cancer. You want a excellent protocol, dietary protocol, supplemental protocol for cancer. I is the man. I will do that for you. And not getting involved in your chemotherapy and radiation. You do that, you start that, good. That is on you. I have no problem with that. But what I am going to do, I'm going to give you a diet. I'm going to make sure and put together a protocol. I'm going to give you a fighting chance. But you have to ensure that your diet, the foundation of the human body, Hippocrates said it, let your food be thy medicine and thy medicine to be your food. Eat your little sweet potato, your little dasheen, get your sea moss, drink your little tablespoon of olive oil, whereas you don't want to be every day, you could hit it every other day. I gave you all the example with the raisin and the olive oil. That is work nice, Them clients come in the office and say, Dr. Batson, not drinking that. And you don't even want to drink that every day, You could hit a 1 tablespoon in the morning in a glass of hot water, you hit at 2 tablespoons. And you could do it like every other day. But watch me, that is do magic for your liver. That's the raisin and olive oil recipe I've given you guys. I'll go again. You take a cup of raisins, wash your raisins out nice. It could be any color raisins, the black one, the gold one, raisins. You throw it in a bowl or Pyrex. We big people now, we know you don't put hot in plastic, right? Good. You take a cup of raisins, you wash them out, throw it in a bowl, boil some water, you throw hot water on the raisins up to the level of the raisins. You want to leave your raisins covered down on your counter for 24 hours. Leave it. It is not bothering you today. Don't be going and lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. You're nothing in there. You leave it there, the raisins swell and nice. You take the raisins, you throw it in an osterizer, and you get a cup of olive oil, and you throw it inside of that. You osterize it, and you put it in a glass bottle, you put it in a refrigerator, and you take 1 to 2 tablespoons every morning or every other morning. Some people, if it is you have little thing in your intestines and thing, they might get a little gripe. You go realize you're going in the washroom. That means it walk in. Don't worry yourself. You ain't go dead. Right? Drink plenty water. Easy, free, nice information there. When you're ready, depending on how your pocket running, you come, you get some Alkagen water, you hit a sand tool, and I'm telling you, if it is you feel you could run marathon now, you do that, you go tell me something different. All right, Miss Angela Noel says, what about garlic in that mix? Well, you could put garlic in it, but I try to keep it simple because I don't want to confuse too much people. And then remember, some persons may have a problem with high blood pressure, or some people may have low pressure. So I try to give you the raisin and the olive oil working for anybody. We could always adjust it after. You could put a little piece of turmeric, you could put a little garlic, but I'm going basic so that anyone could use it and get benefit. Okay? Good. So that telephone number again for the Shogunas office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. 314-9975. Miss Angela Noel is saying, how long can you leave it in the fridge? You can leave it in the fridge as long, finish it, use it out. Because remember, that measurement you're making is a cup. So in terms of tablespoons, that's supposed to last you like maybe about a month, 2 months for the most. But I mean, you could leave that. I had one in the fridge there, I used it. I mean, once your fridge is a good working fridge, I could stay in your fridge about 6 months, 8 months, up to a year. Your fridge is a good working fridge. That wouldn't spoil like that. Right? And those ingredients in themselves are already natural. Olive oil is something don't spoil. So make sure and use it. Miss Paula Rupchan is saying that will help with the belly. What do you mean in terms of the weight loss? It would give some aspect because it is going to help with the intestines and that type of thing. Okay. Again, someone is asking about the yes. So that open clinic day. So tomorrow, please God, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in our Shogunas office. That office is located on the first floor of Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. And our telephone numbers are 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. Day Bay, remember Day Bay is open clinic day for this segment that I'm doing is going to be the first, the second, and the third. So that'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday, not Sunday, my apologies, Saturday the 6th. Okay? Where's this Keisha Pahote say, yeah, we need a home remedy for the belly too. All right, Keisha, we'll work on that for you guys. I'll work on that for you guys, right? One of the things too, as well as regards to Tobago, keep in mind Tobago is the 8th, God's willing, to the 13th, right? So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Good. Tobago would most likely get close to the end of May again, depending on how we do what we do there. And of course, I would have my consultants with me. Well, not all of them, but we interchange accordingly to ensure that we effectively able to deal with you guys and help you guys out, right? Could children take the raisin olive oil mixture? Yes, they can. With children, so children who are 5 years, between 5 and 10 years, they can use 1 teaspoon, and children who are 10 years and older, they could use 2 teaspoons, right? But it's a very good thing. Very, 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 very good. It's also a nice cleanse for the liver. It does some really good things with the body, okay? In addition to that, again, let me say a pleasant good morning to our hardworking colleagues at Batson and Associates. You know, we're ready. We gears up for you guys next week. Please go in the Shoguna's office and the week after. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Roma and Miss Donna in our DB office there. And of course, our consultants who go in ever so often to assist him there. Joey Francis said, need some information here, please. Mr. Francis, what it is you need? Tell me quickly before I leave. All right. Roses Dial says, hi, Doc. Is it 1 cup of olive oil? Yes, 1 cup of olive oil you're using. Good, guys. We have Nerve Restore. Yes, we do have Nerve Restore in stock. Nerve Restore is the adaptogen product that we carry. That product, and not only an adaptogen, but it's actually a central nervous system product. It helps significantly with sleep, with relaxation. If you know you're stressed out, you have a stressful job, you're stressed out, you feel like you're going mad. Nerve Restore is your friend. Take what I'm telling you. Really, really good product. Okay. Let me say again, you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. We are live on Sky 99.5 and on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, it's Dr. Batson. So feel free to add us, share us, like us. You know, we'll appreciate that. And of course, spread the message. You know, it have some persons, you know, even if it's the water, I tell persons, the rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 ounces. Keep that in mind. Hydration is everything. Water plays a significant role in being healthy. As regards the type of water, we know there's a financial consequence to everything, and not everybody, depending on your situation. Even though I live by the mantra, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. I've seen people empty estates, cleared out bank accounts on their health, and God forbid they still died. And had they been proactive as opposed to being reactive, they might have been here today still and have some of that money to help their family. When you reach this stage, as I always tell people, when you look at prices of things, how much for a triple bypass? Triple bypass could run you anything between $120,000 to maybe about $200,000, depending on where you're going. And your referral and your aftercare with that could carry you anywhere about the next $150,000. Those things are very costly because cardiologists and cardiac specialists are not cheap people to pay. Surgeons are not, they are qualified in what they do, and therefore they need to be paid. And respectfully, anybody, it's just like if you go to an attorney or architect or whatever, they need to be paid. That's life. The thing is, try and dot your I's and cross your T's or put the odds in your favor. Cardiovascular disease, we have an integrative cardiovascular program. That's something I'll be launching this year, helping to clean arteries, and we're going to be doing a complete aspect as it relates to cardiovascular health, because again, that is continuing to be a very, very big issue with a number of individuals. where they're having blocked arteries and you're getting pain in your left side, pins and needles, cramping in your cars, burning under your feet. Your body speaks to you. The question is, are you listening? I will say it again. Your body speaks to you. Are you listening? Joey Francis asked the question, is santulan, bacteria friendly in the gut? Well, the thing is, yeah, it would be. Remember, santulan is a 7-channel detox that contains core ingredients: marshmallow, persimmon leaves. It has papaya. It has something called what's the name of the thing, boy? It also has a prebiotic, not a probiotic in it. So it's going to be friendly in improving gut health. The only people who should not use, if you know you have things like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndromes, which fall in the category medically as inflammatory bowel conditions, because you have IBS, which is inflammatory bowel syndrome. You have Crohn's. You have what's the next one, boy? Things like gastritis and GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease, and all those things are imbalances of the gastrointestinal system. Remember, gastrointestinal system is one of the largest organ systems in the body, because your gastrointestinal system comprises your teeth, your tongue, your mouth, your esophagus, and we're going straight down. Esophageal sphincter, stomach, small intestines, large intestines. Then you have your pancreas. All those things make up your gastrointestinal system. Now, the small intestines is lined with something known as villi. So primary school biology, right? What are villi? Villi are fine hairs. Now, the body follows a rule, which is surface area to volume ratio. God, in his wisdom, when he designed the human body, he made sure that surface area to volume ratio was always played a significant aspect in proper body functionality or proper body functioning. So villi, which helps with digestion in the small intestines, what villi are what? They hair-like. So they're very long, and as a result of being hair-like, the surface area to volume ratio is significantly increased. So it means absorption is supposed to be paramount, or it's supposed to be effective or efficient. What happens, you remember I was talking about mucoid plaque, which is plaque that lines the intestines, that interferes with your villi, so your food don't digest properly. If you really think about it, disease and sickness, when people get sick and you understand the basic tenets of the human body, it is because those laws were flouted while you're in the situation that you're in, you know. And a lot of people sometimes surprised, because when you're explaining to them that they're sick because of themselves, there is bigger horrors. But as I told you all, I am the type of doctor that's going to tell you what other doctors wouldn't tell you, or what other doctors do even know. I'm not going to hide that from you. So let's work on the mucoid plaque. Start with your water. You can get Alkagen water. Alkagen water is not $1 million. We sell them in 5-liter bottles, and they're available at all our offices. All. St. James is like the St. James people down there, there's real drink water. So we have to be on our P's and Q's with them. I mean, in all the offices, right? But start to drink at least your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. Someone is asking the question, Doc, what could be done if you have too much visceral fat? So you need to get some santulan. Santulan, Alkagen water. You could also use the olive oil and raisin cleanse. That's going to give you some help in that situation. Some people, fat going to be a little more stubborn than others, especially women who would have done surgeries, because women who would have done like C-section, if it is you would have done hysterectomies, if you remove organ like your gallbladder, well, oh God, you're going to have to work a little better, because once you have removed your gallbladder, digestive balance and digestive restore is something you should look into, and even the gastrointestinal tea, because it will help to improve and sort of maintain some good levels of digestion. Okay, so it is 11:39 a.m. So let me go back to my my very competent host, sir, Mr. Carter.
You touched on trust a bit earlier.
Yes.
And, when you were speaking, there's this gentleman who has a question.
Right.
Hi, good morning. I'm a regular listener to your program. What is the best way you can treat an enlarged prostate with constant urination every 2 hours? I have been prescribed finasteride, but I'm afraid of the side effects. What can I do naturally? Thank you.
Well, one of the first things is what we discussed with the castor oil and the coconut oil, right? With the application. So the thing is, when you're using that mix, your ratio is 1-to-1. So if you're using, so we're going according to surface area, we're going according to the how to put it, boy. So I think comfortably 1 teaspoon, because that's how I use mine. 1 teaspoon castor oil, 1 teaspoon coconut oil. I mix it together, heat it a little bit, and then you do the application. So I mean, if you have larger prostate than other individuals, you might need a little more. But in terms of the prostate enlargement, so if you have been diagnosed with prostatitis or BPH, which is benign prostatic hypoplasia, which both would cause swelling in the prostate, it means we need to get to the root cause of the problem. So we need to deal with that aspect. So one, again, we need to look at your water, look at your meat intake. If you have prostate problems, you cannot be namming, as they say, or eating large amounts of meat, especially red meat. You need to change that diet, try and put a little more fish in there. Then we need to reduce the inflammation in the body. So that's where Batson and Associates comes in. So you're going to have to give us a consultation, at least, or come for a consultation and the blood analysis. Bring your reports. So bring your prostate ultrasound, PSA if you would have done it, and then we would be able to work from there, because that requires a protocol in order to get that benign prostate hyperplasia come down. There was a client I had who came with a 205 cc prostate, and now they're down to 134. And that was not, no surgery was done. That was just with the protocol of removing that inflammatory response and all that sort of toxins and waste in the body. And not only that, but even helping the gastrointestinal system, because your prostate and your colon are neighbors. So if you have a prostate problem, you also have a colon problem. It's just like women with uterine fibroids and polycystic ovaries and fibroids and ovarian cysts and those type of things. They are going to have issues with the prostate. You have to fix that neighbor, because parasite or pathogens leave the intestinal wall and go over to the prostate, just like they leave the intestinal wall and go over to the uterus and cause problems with uterine cysts and polyps and all these type of things. Where are these things coming from? When you think about it, how do you get a polyp? How do you get a cyst? How do you get a fibroid? As I was saying in layman terms, is rubbish. That's rubbish that accumulate in that organ. You're not drinking sufficient water. You're drinking, using a lot of sugar. Yes, so I realized we had a little issue with our social media there. So we're back. So guys, we will be in Shogunas, as I said, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And of course, we will be having that open clinic day. So take advantage of it. Shogunas office again is 222-8261 or 314-9975. To all the lovely social media followers, Miss Marva Crossley Belfast, who asked, what can you use to remove gallstones? Santulan actually works very good for that. Very, very good for that. So take care of yourself. The water alone make me mess my underwear. Good thing I was still home. Don't talk about taking it along with Santulan. I almost had to buy a new toilet. It bound to clean you out. No buts or maybes. Thanks so very much for that. Yeah. Miss Pahute says, honey bake, gosh, that is what I can't handle. Have to make sure you're home, LOL, but I will take it. And the thing is, no, you don't necessarily have to be home, no. The thing with Santulan, I always tell people, use it on the weekend, because Santulan is to be used on an empty stomach, which is either an hour before a meal or 2 hours after a meal. But the thing with Santulan, it gives you a bowel movement anywhere between 4 to 6 to 8 hours after. So once you use it and you don't know how you're moving with it, then if you drink at 5 o'clock, you ain't getting bowel movement until late in the night or early in the morning. You home. Okay? So guys, like Cindy Hoyt say, I take it at night before bed and first thing in the morning is business. Exactly so. Exactly. Thanks for that, Cindy. So guys, take care. Look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Please God. Roses Dial says Santulan really works, guys. Thanks so very much for that. And of course, I'll see you guys next week, Thursday, where we'll be on 103.1 FM from 11:05 to 11:25. We will be on the Freedom 106.5 FM, which is 1:15 to 2. Because we have 1:15 to 2 this week coming here. And DJMamuRadioTT.com is 2:15 to 3:15. Honeybase says another beautiful program. Hearts. Yes, my dear. Thanks so very much. Love you guys. Be safe. And remember, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Remember again to like us on our social media or TikTok. Like us, follow us on TikTok. It's Batson and it's Dr. Batson. Correct? Miss Elizabeth Murray says, Dr. Lovelocks, thank you and your associates. I will replay this show. You're very welcome. Cindy Hoyt says, I concur. Yes, Miss Cindy. You guys take care. God bless. Bye-bye.